This is a double 3x8 pocket page spread, and I started by playing around with my new jelly plate. This is a really fun, kind of soothing art technique that I'm really into. I added some Vicki Boutin acrylic paint, and then I added some white, really cheap paint that I do not recommend. You can even see here on video how runny it is, and it's not only bad that it's runny for transferring, but it's also bad because it constantly seeps down the sides and makes the whole process really messy. So if you're gonna get into the jelly plate thing, I highly recommend investing in better quality paint than the cheapest thing you can find at Michael's. But it was just the only white paint that I had. So I have a 3-inch circle here, and then I also have a large rectangle and then a smaller rectangle. So my idea was to have the background be kind of a two-tone pink. So I did the same color pink, I think. Or no, there's two pinks that I have of Vicki Boutin. I used kind of a corally one and then like a more cotton candy one. So I'm taking the pigment ink from Vicki Boutin in the color wheel, and I'm putting a little bit down, just took the pad directly onto the plastic there. And then I'm taking a dauber and mixing them together on the plastic and then rotating it kind of in a circle on the cardstock to make that kind of purple color. Then I wanted there to be a slightly darker version of that color to put in polka dots over it. So if you look at the color wheel, there's like a light pink and a dark pink and a light teal and a dark teal. So then I took the darker as well and mixed it in for the polka dots. And here I'm doing that with the yellows too, and a little smidge there of the orange. And rubbing it in the circle, then I'm taking the stencil and rubbing a little bit more. And that creates a really subtle polka dot over that color. And I really like the way that that turned out. Then I'm cutting it in a 1.5-inch circle and then cutting that in half, and it serves as the decoration to go on some of the journaling spots for this layout. And now I'm doing it here with the teal. So I've got 4 little stories I'm telling here, and this is a design that I have used over and over. I should count how many layouts I've done this with. I've done it a lot. I really like little half circles and putting something in the other half. Sometimes I've used patterned paper. This time I'm doing these little circles that I've kind of painted here. And the color inspiration for this layout, and with lots of my layouts, comes from my daughter's outfit. Kids' clothes are so cute, and I get a lot of inspiration from her clothing. The cat and jack line from Target is especially cute, and a lot of times I'll look at them and think, I wish that came in my size, but at least I can make a scrapbook layout that's inspired by it. So I'm putting these here on the other half of those spots, but then that circle there with text that doesn't have anything on it seemed kind of like it was floating out in the middle of nowhere. So then I took another just blank 1.5-inch circle and used it as a mask. I'll do it here in a second. And took the dauber again and went around the circle to create like a little frame behind it so that it was a little bit more grounded there. I love those die cut leaves. Those are for sure my favorite part of the Wildflower and Honey collection. So here I'm cutting the mask. I'm going to put it down. I'll adhere it down and take the dauber and just kind of go around it. And it didn't turn out quite as dark as I wanted it to, so then I take a Vicki Boutin watercolor brush and draw. The nice thing about her water brushes and paints and all that is that they all have similar colors if you get the same ones that released in the same collection. So it's pretty much the same teal. I'm going to draw here in a circle and then take a paintbrush dipped in water and kind of soften it to create the little watercolor frame around it. And I like how that goes with that little circle that's next to it. So love how this one turned out, nice and colorful, and added that little star there on the edge because it felt like it needed it for balance. But really liked this one, so I encourage you to play around with some of these products and see what you can create.